We had Paul's letter to Timothy as found in 1 Timothy. There are 6 chapters in the book of 1 Timothy. Within these 6 chapters is a letter from the Apostle Paul to Timothy. Within the letter to Timothy, Paul gives us many ways to practice our faith, including staying and living holy and godly, going to Mass, praying for all people, and using the gifts and talents God gave you to express His love.
One of the ways that Paul says we can live like Jesus is to love, speak, act, and believe like he did. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12 says, "But rather in speech, conduct, love, faith, and purity, show yourself an example of those who believe."
In his letter to Timothy, Paul says that in order to live as a good Catholic, we should keep the 4th commandment by going to Mass on Sundays.
Just like Jesus prayed and ministered to all people, in his letters, Paul gives us instructions in praying for others. 1 Timothy chapter 2, verses 1 and 2. First of all, then, I urge that entreaties and prayers, petitions and thanksgivings be made on behalf of all men, for kings and all who are in authority, so that we may lead a tranquil and quiet life, in all godliness and dignity.
In Paul's letter to Timothy, Paul tells Timothy to use the gifts that God has given him to spread the message of the gospel. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 14 says, "Do not neglect the spiritual gift within you, which was bestowed on you through prophetic utterance, with the laying of hands by prosperity."
The overall message of the letter Paul wrote to Timothy was staying in good faith. Staying in good faith means to live the way that Jesus lived and to follow the commandments given to us by God.
The theme in this letter, 1 Timothy, is staying in good faith. As Catholics, we are called to do this every day. If we pray for others daily, we are practicing good faith. We can also remain in good faith by going to Mass every Sunday. We are called daily to use the talents God gave us to pray for others and minister to others.